Welcome back to the Trick Talking Meat podcast. I'm your host again, Brother John, with my co-host and smoke show, Spoiled Bat.
How you doing?
We were just talking about a discussion topic. I've got nothing this week. Really, it's because my head was cloudy. I just had to take a. Sorry, I'm late. You were thinking I was dropping a deuce, I would have come up with something good, but I didn't, man. I ate mall Chinese food on the way over here. And I ain't gonna lie to you, dude. It was like a Japanese bullet train at rush hour. I know y'all were waiting, but I got nothing.
No,
it's fair. That was me over this past weekend. I was
days.
out.
Oh, did you have the
3
peanut
days.
showers?
No. It was
My grandmother would refer to it as the trots, if you will.
Trots.
It was.
I don't get it either.
I was making Play-Doh. It was.
It was like a fun factory.
Just constant stream. I was like, when is this gonna
You
end?
guys, oh my god.
Was the watery kind or the doughy kind?
Oh, it was doughy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like when you wipe your ass, you gotta wipe your ass like a second time, like 20 minutes later.
Yeah, like a whole half
You had
roll
like
of toilet paper.
He had like a case of the butter buns.
So
Yeah.
this is what happens when we don't know what to talk about.
We talk about
each other.
literally.
apparently.
I hate to open the show with a joke, but I mean I've ended the show with enough shit jokes.
True.
I mean, worst case, it can always get cut out.
Oh, it's not getting cut out because somebody at home's like going, "I have butter buns too, man." It's like the perfect time to listen to the show while I'm taking because that's all it's worth.
So would you say that this episode would be the Shit Talking Meat podcast?
The Shit Talking Meat podcast, yes.
Wow.
Here at Quark's Bar and Outdoor Stall Entertainment. The John Radisson, the toilets are broken. We done blown them
Oh
up.
my god. You guys are guys. Jeez.
So we spent the first 3 minutes talking about dropping a deuce. What else is new? What do you got, Allie?
Just been playing a game.
What are you playing?
Dragon Age Veilguard.
Oh, there's a shocker. What's
I'm loving it actually.
I think you were talking about this game the last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
We did a video game
Yeah.
episode recently.
Yeah.
I think you were on to the Dragon Age.
Oh yeah. No, I'm hyper focused.
Not doing the Baldur's Gate, huh?
No, I started Baldur's Gate.
I
and
tried.
Then,
I just can't get into it.
yeah, like the
You gotta
turn
get far enough
bases-
to where you're people.
Yeah.
I
Then it
got
really
far enough
pulls
to
you
where I
in.
can make everybody in the camp naked.
Oh, okay.
You know, dongs flapping in the wind, free balls.
Almost
Yeah.
there. Almost there.
But no, that's about as far.
No, I made it into the goblins. What is it? The fortress, and I made it deep in. And then I messed up. I killed someone I wasn't supposed to, and so now every single freaking goblin is on high alert. And I'm trying to get out, but I can't get out. I'm like inching my way out, but I can't get out. I'm stuck. I screwed myself over.
Like the dwarves in Lord of the Rings. I can't get out.
Yeah, pretty
she,
much.
She went deep
Helm's
into Moria, kicked the Balrog in the said, okay, how do I get out?
And then
Yeah.
was killed by goblins.
Yeah.
Multiple times
Oh my
while
god,
naked.
so many times.
in the game.
So many times.
Or,
And I can't.
that was,
And even.
Dror Ragzlin. That was it.
Yeah.
That's
even,
the guy you accidentally fucked.
Yeah. Oops.
Is
Even
this
even
Baldur's
if I
Gate?
get.
Yeah.
Even
Is that
if
the
I
elf
get
guy,
on
the
the
weird
outside-
vampire elf guy?
Oh, no,
it's
that's
the,
Astarion.
That's Astarion.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Astarion.
That's why she played the game.
Yeah, that is why I play the game.
The gay vampire did it for you.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Here
Oh
we go.
yeah.
In the
No,
house.
I love him.
Astarion in the
It's-
house all day.
He's a vampire with an angsty past, and that's my thing. I have a thing. I have a type.
Well, fair enough.
Now with Dragon Age, she's stuck trying to decide who to boink.
Right.
Yeah, I'm in between Lucanus and Emmerich.
You can't go for broke, huh?
Nope,
They don't do the Dragon Age.
nope,
No high fives, you know.
nope. People get jealous.
Right.
They get jealous of each other.
Oh.
You know, I go to my video games for escapism, not realism.
Right. Yeah, I don't
Wow.
ever remember having to figure out who to blink on Ms. Pac-Man. Boy, Blinky's looking really hot right now.
I mean, let's be honest. RPGs, that's half the game. It's
Right.
a dating sim.
It's really just a matter of it's like Grand Theft Auto. You go in there and you go to the just to see if they're actually naked or not.
Yeah.
And they is. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Free boobies.
Which,
Anyway, what
you
else have
can-
we been doing?
I mean, that's been it. Well, because I've been streaming Dragon Age. So I've been on YouTube, doing my thing. I started and then I restarted the game. So it's like I had to
I
start all
boned
over
the wrong
again.
person. I need to start over.
No, I just got a different rook.
Oh.
She's a punk, so.
Playing anything good, Josh? No? If it took you that long to think about it,
No,
then
shit.
probably-
Shit, what was I playing?
Don't act like you have a life. But no, I was so busy doing this, that, and the other, I couldn't come up with a video game. Sorry.
Oh, God, no.
My lame ass went back to Animal Crossings.
Power World.
Power World.
Yeah,
Power World.
that's your guilty pleasure.
Pokemon with guns.
Right. Pokemon. Is that
Yeah.
the illegal one, like the knockoff Pokemon game? That
Pretty much.
They were getting sued over it?
It's different enough.
Right.
They're skirting the line,
Right.
towing the line.
You're trying to claim parody when you're just blatantly ripping up a copyright.
Yeah,
I
pretty
mean,
much.
it is pretty parodied, though.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but no, yeah, that's the one.
Does anybody else here play Animal Crossing? Did either you guys got a Switch?
I've actually never played No, I have played
And
Animal
yet
Crossing.
you have the Animal Crossing
and
edition
yet
Switch.
my Switch is the Animal Crossing Switch. That was the only one we could get at the time.
Yeah, that's surely the reason why you bought it.
It is. That and the colors are cute.
It's pastel.
It is.
It's pretty.
Now I want the other one. What is it? Like green
Pro.
and purple?
Mine's orange and purple.
I just want purple. Just give me purple.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I would like the one
Didn't you
with
get
the
a free
OLED.
Animal Crossing with the game with the system though?
Nope.
No,
That's
which was
dumb.
absolutely nuts.
Right.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Why
What the
would you? Yeah, like you got owned is what that.
I know,
is.
right?
Like not even in the good Dragon Age kind of way.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Nice job, Nintendo.
Right. Way to drop the ball. You remember when I was in retail for years, and I've been through like all of the history of Nintendo. It was unlucky and it was a jinx to buy a Nintendo without a Mario game. Is your first game,
Yeah.
or get one with it. And if you go back in time, you look at it like Super Mario Brothers came with the original
Yeah.
OG
Yeah.
8-bit.
And then you ended up
Super
with
Nintendo came with Super Mario World,
Yep.
OG, and then 64 came with the Mario game,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
GameCube had Luigi's Mansion.
Yep.
And then the Wii kind of had Paper Mario or something like that was out about the same time, didn't it? Or was it a Mario All-Star or something?
Well,
no,
I
it came
was
with Wii
All-Star.
Sports.
Well, it came with Wii Sports,
yeah.
but the first game, Mario
Some
game.
of them. The first Mario was All Star, but it didn't come with.
I think when I bought my Wii, it didn't have
I
anything
think,
with the
I think
Wii
it was just
Sports.
Super
and that's-
Mario Brothers Wii.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I just played the sports game for like the first 6 months because the bowling was
did.
awesome,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the fishing was awesome, and the boxing.
Yeah, the bowling,
the
boxing.
bowling was
those
so
were-
much fun.
Yeah, you can't buy a new Nintendo without having an actual Mario game. It's just, even if you don't like the game, you're going to wear it out for a month. Mario
Yeah.
64, though, was the shit, though, admittedly. Game still holds
That's
up.
one I actually haven't played.
Blasphemer.
Well, I never had a 64. That's the only Nintendo that I have never had.
Right?
The only reason why we have it like to be in our collection is because he had it.
Right.
So it's like I never got a chance to play like GoldenEye. I never had a chance
Oh.
to play
That's hurtful.
any of those games because I just never had a 64. We went right from the Super Nintendo to the PlayStation. So
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah. And I played demo discs on that like for years.
So it's been a couple of weeks since the last podcast. I've been traveling. I went to see Iron Maiden. That was awesome.
Nice.
Nice.
Still killer after 49 years of doing it.
Hell yeah.
Bruce Dickinson still killing it on stage. Next year's 50th anniversary of Iron Maiden,
Wow.
and still going hard.
That's awesome.
Let it out, big guy.
Shit. Sorry.
It sounded like you blew a gasket there, an O-ring or something. You okay there, guy? You ever sneeze while you're trying to take a...
You ever sneeze so bad you pull your...
Yeah, been there.
Yeah, that's what just happened.
You
I
just
can't.
blew your out? Is that what you just said? How did we go from Iron Maiden back to shit?
I can't say that that's ever happened to me. So
You never, like, sneezed and at the same time?
not that I can recall. I'm sure it has happened at some
So we
point.
went
It's a
from, like-
bodily function.
So we went from bad to worse. So we went from shit to basically. I mean, He's writing notes like this is the part we're gonna edit out.
10
You know-
minutes in.
10 minutes in, and we gotta like delete the part about like
We've covered shit,
every bodily fluid you could think
sneezing.
of, sneezing, farting,
Amidst, video game talk.
right?
But you talking about Iron Man? That's music. We
Yeah.
haven't hit up music.
We've never really talked about music. I think Iron Maiden is the greatest metal band of all time.
Really.
Yeah. Metallica.
Yeah, no.
Well, give me your hard pitch.
Hard pitch for Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
What's not to love about it, man? Like 50 years. I mean, every album. I mean, God, you go all the way from the 80s. I think their former lead singer just passed away like a couple of weeks ago too.
Oh, wow.
But we don't care about him because Bruce Dickinson is God. It's so cold. That's so cool. What are the top 3 metal bands of all time? Let's see. Slayer would be in there. Iron Maiden. Oof. Megadeth would be a close runner-up.
There are so many.
There's so many of them.
Cause then you get the old school, and then you hit to the point where
I'm becoming a crabbity old codger, though. I don't like any of the new shit.
we have oh, will you shut up?
Talk to the microphone and not John.
Or
No,
put the microphone
like
between the two of you.
our
you
generation
go.
is we're millennials, so it's we've got a whole another plethora of bands that shifted the genre a little bit. You've got Disturbed,
System of a Down.
System of a
Slipknot.
Down. Oh yeah, Slipknot was always great.
It's the metal version of ICP.
Linkin Park.
Linkin Park. Linkin Park was more. Was that really metal though? That wasn't metal. That was more like techno shit, wasn't it?
It
Rap.
was kind of like a mix.
I don't know. When
It
the
was a
rap
mix of
started
all
into
of
the heavy
them.
metal scene, that's when I was like, unless it was Bring the Noise from Anthrax and Public Enemy or.
But it's I was a big System of a Down fan when I was in high school, so we listened to System of a Down all the time. And then when
Serge Tankian.
I was I would think it was our senior year that Linkin Park came out with yeah.
Whatever you're about to say, the answer is yes.
Whatever you're
Their
sitting
about?
Their first
Yeah.
album. I'm trying to think of the name of it and I can't off the top
Did
of my
Linkin
head.
Park really blow up before or
Something
after
Theory.
the Transformer movies? Because weren't they on all the soundtracks?
Before.
Yeah,
they were
kind of huge
way
before.
Because that was 99 and I don't think the Transformers
That was somewhere in
came
the
out
2000s.
until
wasn't it?
2003-ish.
And those movies suck too.
Yeah, no, well, because they're Michael Bay.
Lots of explosions and do things so fast you can't see what's going on, but then slow it down into slow motion for dramatic effect.
But me, I'm an 80s listener. I listen to a lot of 80s stuff. I love Journey.
Everybody loves Journey.
I know, right?
Steve Perry.
I love Aha.
Steve Perry. Aha. Did they have
Aha
one
and
more?
Toto, yeah,
Did they have more than one song?
they do.
Aha, Take Me On.
They do.
You only liked it because of the video. Admit it.
That was a pretty badass
The video was badass. So, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, but the comic book thing.
But
What's the best band you ever saw live?
Nightwish.
Nightwish, really?
Yeah.
Nightwish.
Wow.
And I've seen a lot of bands live because I used to work for concerts.
Right.
So I've seen
Who's
Black.
the worst? Who's
I've
the worst band you ever saw?
Worst band? Oh God. I hate saying it. Allman Brothers.
Oof. That's so hurtful.
They were.
Do you really hate saying it? Because I'm perfectly fine saying it.
The
Say
Allman
it.
Brothers suck.
You can say it.
Well, there was
Well,
only
it
one
was-
Allman Brother.
Yeah, but was it
Yeah.
the Allman? Well, it was like the Allman.
Yeah. And now I think he's gone now. So.
But that kind of goes into that whole thing with would you go to see the Four Tops and there's no original members left? It's all their cousins and shit. They
Yeah.
just came through Central Alabama and did a show at one of the casinos, and I'm like, there's no way any of those guys are still alive. There's just no way.
Yeah.
And then you look at the lineup, and it's like, yeah, he was the third cousin removed of one of the lead singers from back in the '60s. I'm like, that's not the Four Tops. Give me a
Right?
break with that shit.
It's his cousin or
Just
something,
stop.
It's like
That's
it's his,
the Four Tops 3 times removed.
yeah, exactly.
That's like one top, and he's not even really a top. He's more like a power bottom.
But no, I mean, I've seen Slipknot from backstage. I've seen Black Sabbath from backstage.
Was it with Ozzy or with
It was with
okay.
Ozzy. I have met Ozzy.
Hey, give Ronnie James Dio credit where credit's due, man.
Well, true.
Ride the
very
tiger.
true.
You can
Oh,
see his
yeah.
spots, but you know he's clean. You know
But,
what he means.
But Ozzy.
No, he didn't. Nobody knew.
I've seen plenty of Jimmy Buffett's. Jimmy Buffett's was always a fun concert because everybody used
Because
to
it's
do
old people getting shit faced.
Yeah, the whole like it would be a whole day affair. And you know, and I used to work parking lot at that point, so everybody was doing like tailgates and everything.
Were you working the parking lot or were you working the parking lot?
I was just working
Oh,
the
okay.
parking lot.
Got it. Oh, it's just going to
Trust
make
me,
that clear.
I was wearing khakis and a polo shirt. It was not that
Nobody's
attractive
that-
whatsoever.
I don't know, to an old guy parrot head or whatever.
But
You got real pretty
James
lips.
Taylor was actually a really
margaritas.
nice night.
James Taylor.
Yeah, oh yeah, we had people tailgating that and making like
Did you
food
see
and
fire?
offering
Did you
us.
see rain?
I did. I could hear it from the parking lot.
What's the most recent show you've been to?
Oh, it's not Nightwish, is it? We saw something else.
I thought it was Nightwish.
Like
It might have
Nightwish?
been Nightwish.
Oh, wait, I'm thinking Night Ranger. I was like, Sister Christian?
Yeah.
No, that's Night Ranger.
Nightwish, the band. Yeah, never mind.
Nightwish,
Nightwish,
yeah.
the Finnish metal.
Finish.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's badass.
Yeah, no, they are fantastic. Yeah, we saw them. They actually split up a year ago, and now they're back together again.
Split up is went on hiatus.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know they're back again at least. They just released a new album actually, like last month. So
What about you? Well, I guess you were with her, so it doesn't
Well,
really count.
Yeah.
Nightwish, Kiss, and Black Sabbath.
Kiss. How many
Those are
times?
three.
Like, which retirement tour are we talking about?
Oh, I
Like-
haven't seen them.
Oh.
I haven't seen them live. I was just my three are.
Oh.
that
are
was
those.
one that I actually did not see live. I don't believe. I
What,
don't
Kiss?
remember Kiss. Yeah.
Really?
Which is weird because it was up in the Boston area.
Like I'd kill to get a time machine
Aerosmith
and
was
jump
great.
back in time to see Kiss live.
Right.
And that's another
I
one.
took my daughter to
Aerosmith.
see him like 2.5, 3 years ago, right before COVID, or I guess like 4 or 5. I guess yeah, it's more like 4 or 5 now. But their 8th retirement tour.
Yeah.
She had the option though. I was like Elton John or Kiss, and she wanted Elton John. I was like, you know,
Yeah.
I love Elton,
Vito?
but I love
Oh, yeah.
70s Elton, like you know,
Oh,
before
yeah.
he got old and worn out.
Yeah.
Like, and she went to Kiss, and she was like, and she knew the songs, but she didn't know know them. But like once she heard them start playing, I'm like, oh, I know this one. Like, yeah, it's like she's like came out of it like, oh, I didn't know it was gonna be like that, Dad. I'm like, yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
party.
You hear that?
Yeah, that heavy bass line is just killer.
Yeah.
And Gene doing his thing. But yeah, well, I mean, Kiss was only designed. I mean, it's a very juvenile band.
Oh,
It's,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
metal for 14-year-olds
Yeah.
Oh,
that don't
yeah.
want to grow up. And well, I mean, and that's exactly what it was made for.
But
But,
it's
it's
always
the only band that was.
nostalgic.
Every band was out there trying to get laid, but Kiss was the only band out there trying to get you laid. That's the
Yeah.
difference. Like Gene wanted to share with everybody, you know.
Yeah, no,
Maybe David Lee
Aerosmith-
Roth would be a second. Maybe early Van Halen also wanted to get you laid.
Aerosmith, Steve Tyler, great guy. He's
Right.
a super nice guy.
Have you met him?
My dad has.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
My dad. Okay, so when you're in Boston and you have an Aerosmith concert, they have two stages because they want to play for Boston because they're from Boston.
Right.
And so they had a stage, the main stage, and then they had a stage up in the lawn. Well, they had to go get from one stage to another. So at that point, they had some of the biggest guys in the security, which is what I used to work with my dad. And my dad, who is, 6 feet, I don't know how much he weighs, but he's
Shorty.
a big guy. No, he's a big guy.
She's
Well,
not saying
from
the inches.
you.
She's just saying the feet.
Yeah.
That was just in girth.
he says he's not 6'3". I thought he was 6'3". So
He's saying he's 6 even.
yeah,
Then he shrunk. as an old man.
Probably.
Well,
That's
bummed
actually
incident.
true. Yeah, I forget that kind of happens.
I saw my
Anyway,
dad this weekend. He looked like he was shorter.
Yeah.
I was like, that's weird. Like, did you get shorter in the
My
last?
mom
He's like,
gets
"No,
shorter
baby."
every time I see her too.
Yeah, I have not grown an inch taller, and my dad is shorter than me
Yeah.
now.
Right.
Yeah.
So your
But
dad,
no.
Aerosmith.
So
Yes.
my dad was one of those security guards who had to help take Aerosmith from one stage to another.
But he's not a fat guy.
I'll
No.
pause to reiterate. Her
My dad looks
like
like Sergeant Slaughter.
Really?
Yeah.
I know Sarge.
Like when he has his mustache grown out. Like
Really?
he's doing a beard now, but when
He always
was
does I think
you've
when he was
told me
doing the
that
mustache,
before.
he
He
was straight up Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah.
Scared the shit out of me.
Right? Has anybody tried his bourbon yet? His brother
Uh-uh.
has a bourbon company, Remus.
Really?
Remus Bourbon. He's supposed to be trying to help me
Okay.
out with that. So
But yeah.
that's one I want to make fun of. But if he gives me one, I'm gonna be like, that was awesome.
I mean,
Sergeant. I mean, he was GI Joe for
yeah.
sake. Come on now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But anyway, so my dad was one of those guys, and as
my
they're
dad doesn't look
going
like
up,
anybody.
while they're going up the stairs, because they went through the crowd, my dad's right there next to Steven, and he hits his hip on one of the armrests of the side, one of the chairs, and he stumbles. And all of a sudden, you have Steve Tyler's grabbing my dad and helping him up. And man, for Steve Tyler to be able to help my dad up, he's strong then. Because
Yeah, I mean that's the part of the story I was kind of scratching my head for, because you wouldn't think of like Steven Tyler. I mean, let's be honest, he's not very mannish, is he?
no, but I
Like,
mean,
he's a very frail guy.
he's
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
he's very slender,
Right.
you know.
I'm trying to think
But
of
he's
what,
tall.
movie or TV show. Well, it was one of the Ted movies, wasn't it? Talking about Steven Tyler
He's all
looking like a
mouth.
Muppet.
Yeah. Have you ever listened to, I hate to promote another person's podcast, but there's a podcast I listen to called Your Favorite Band Sucks. And I think they did a 3-part episode on why Aerosmith is terrible. And I disagree with that, because I like Aerosmith.
Yeah, no,
And I think one
love
of the
Aerosmith.
things that I thought was the funniest thing they said was that Steven Tyler looks like a wax mannequin that's been left out in the sun for a few weeks. Like, I was like, damn, that's cold.
Now, for me, I think like my favorite bands, like, you know, I've got my typical ones that I listened to in high school, but I've got to say Guns N' Roses, even though Axl is an asshole.
Isn't he fronting AC/DC now?
I have no idea. Is
Somebody
he?
told me when Brian Johnson had to step down because he's got vocal cord damage or something, he can't tour
Ooh.
anymore. And then Axl stepped in, and I heard a couple of the songs on Sirius, man, and that shit sucked.
Well, I mean, so I think Guns N' Roses is great as a cover band. All of the songs that they have covered have always been great. Their "Sympathy for the Devil" was a really fantastic cover. You know, "Sweet Child of Mine," obviously. But I'm also a big Red Hot Chili Peppers fan.
Oh, don't get me started on this. Those guys suck.
I can't help it.
Don't get me started.
I love
Okay,
Flea.
again, anybody out there listening to this bullshit, go listen
Flea
to My
is
Favorite Band
wild.
Sucks. I mean, they did a whole Chili Peppers episode, too.
Oh, I believe
One
it.
of my best friends, she just wouldn't talk to me for a week because I was complaining that they were at the Olympics. I'm like, why are they getting this asshole up here? They can't rhyme anything. They just start making shit up.
Well,
Bebopping.
Yeah, I
Skilly-doo,
kind of
skilly-doo,
like that.
bebop.
As-
Skilly-doo, California. California. I like toast, California.
You gotta admit though, for as much nonsense as they spout, the music itself
No, it still sucks.
is fire.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
I will fight you on it. I will hit a girl.
Are you really sure?
Not if your
I
dad's
hit
Sergeant
back,
Slaughter.
and yes, my dad does look like Sergeant Slaughter.
My
I
dad,
need to
again,
find a
doesn't look like-
picture of him.
You know what? When we get the Patreon moving, you need to throw a picture up of her dad. Why haven't you got him to do it for Halloween? It just seems like
I have
such an
tried.
easy, like mirror aviator sunglasses
I
and a drill instructor
have
hat.
tried for years to get my dad to dress up as Sergeant Slaughter, and it's just
I will tell you a cool Slaughter story. He actually sent my nephew, who's active duty. He just got promoted to sergeant. So he did
Nice.
send him a photo, like an autographed photo from one sergeant to another. Congratulate. I was like, that was really cool.
That's awesome.
Looking out for our servicemen. Go Sarge.
That's awesome.
Let's see.
Great guy. Yo, Joe. Okay, well, it's in there somewhere.
I'm looking.
She's trying to whip out her.
Okay, so this is the.
You're showing me like anybody on the internet's gonna notice. Okay.
He's
Oh
older.
shit, he really does look like Sergeant Slaughter. Holy cow. Like if he just like colored his mustache darker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, when he
he
was
even
younger.
looks like old man Sergeant Slaughter.
When he was younger, yeah, no, his
Yeah.
he's had that mustache my entire life.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
So
that's
and
a porn stash, man.
once he started shaving his head back in the early 2000s,
The
that
panties
was
were
it.
falling. That was
It was like he
The-
looked just like him.
The first time I met this man, he opened the door. I look up and I about myself.
See, if I tried to, like, my hair's receding. It's long, but it's receding, and I admit it. If I tried to shave my head now, though, I'd look like a white Ethiopian. It just, super thin with a bloated belly and no hair and flies.
I love how his entire like Facebook is all just like recipes.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like
Really?
drill
Yeah,
instructor
so, yeah.
stuff. Hey there, maggots! Try the veal.
It's funny because
If he talked like Sergeant Slaughter, I'd be on his so hard I'd be a condom.
No, he definitely doesn't sound like him though. That's for sure.
Very Rhode Island.
He is.
Very
He's
Rhode-
very
very
Rhode
Rhode
Island.
Oh,
The
one of those.
accent's very strong.
Oof.
And
John
it's
Cena.
funny whenever I go up there and I'm talking to my dad, I pick it up too. Like it gets bad.
Yeah.
At least he's
Yeah.
not Canadian.
Just yeah.
Yeah.
I hope I have a Canadian fan someday. I actually was just in Canada like 3 weeks ago. I went to Toys R Us
Ooh.
in Canada, in,
Yeah.
in
They
Langley,
still
British
have them.
Columbia.
They still
yeah.
have them up
Well,
there.
Toys R Us has been everywhere. They just ain't been in America for the last couple of few years.
Yeah.
But you can still go across the border to Toronto, and apparently they're opening up like a bunch of stores. Because I went to one in Dallas Fort Worth when I went to a Comic-Con recently. I flew back, and I was killing time in Dallas Fort Worth Airport, and I was like looking at the shops. I'm like, the Toys R Us, get the out of here! And sure enough, there it was.
Yeah.
Jeffrey in the house all day. And I was talking to the manager. She said, yeah, we're going to open up like 24 stores in America in the next year. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah. No, I've known about that for a little while.
And
They were
apparently
in
they've
like
opened-
JCPenney for a while too.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. That's
I
not
know.
Toys R Us.
I know.
Not where a kid can be a kid or a
No.
grown-ass man can be
And
a
that's
kid.
the thing is like you don't have toy stores.
Well, nobody
like
cares
that
about
at
toys
all.
anymore. Only us. Or people of our age care about toys.
Yeah.
Kids all want like a video game or a handheld or a phone or something that,
Legos.
Legos. Well,
Legos.
yeah, that's one thing I will
Legos
not
is
do.
kind of
But
timeless.
Lego
Barbie's
is
kind
just,
of timeless.
non-screen time Minecraft.
Right.
Now.
I can't do Legos. One, they're expensive.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
two, where do you put them after you've built them? Because I'm not taking it apart and doing it again.
Well,
And three, like, that's a rabbit hole I just don't want to go down. Because if I had like one little piece of like the Hogwarts, I would have the entire castle up in my toy room upstairs.
I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
do have a mutual friend who has a room full of Star Wars.
You know
Lego.
what? He's told
Yeah.
me about that, but
Yeah.
he's never actually showed it to me. So
We've seen it.
He,
Is
I-
it,
he's
I
rejected.
hide-
is it insane?
It's pretty big. He's got a lot of
It's
them.
awesome.
I hid his Ewoks.
Yeah, we hid Ewoks everywhere.
See, like you've watched his house before,
Yeah.
and I'd
Yeah.
figure like I would go there and with everything in that room. I'd be moving Lego minifigures all over the place.
It took him like 2 months to find the one that was in Slave One.
Yeah, the one that was piloting the slave one.
Oh, you can't call it Slave One anymore.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's Boba Fett's starship, which is so dumb. It's
No,
just
no.
dumb.
I'm
Did
sorry,
they ever make
it's
a
always
Slave
gonna
Leia
be Slave.
minifigure?
Slayer
Yeah.
Leia.
Huh?
Slayer Leia.
Slayer Leia?
Yeah,
they
that's
call
what
her
they
now, yeah.
call her now.
Slayer Leia.
You go into the Disney parks, you can find her, but it is Slayer Leia.
Because she slayed Jabba
Yeah.
the Hutt,
Yeah.
I guess. Is
Yeah.
that, well, okay, that kind of works, but it's still Slave Girl Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Like in many
They
preteens first boner.
they will try to get rid of it and it's not happening.
I don't even think Carrie
they
had
released...
a problem with it, did she?
Not really.
I mean, there was the thing about Jeremy Bullock.
Well, yeah, we talked about that. One.
Yeah.
The moon over Miami, the view of Miami, as he used to refer to it.
Yeah.
But no, I think I remember seeing in interviews where she had made the comment, like, when she first came out in it, like, looking at it and going, really, George? Really? Okay.
Shoot, I lost my train of thought. I was gonna add
Yeah, I
something
mean, in
to
the end,
that.
she owned it, so.
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, she looked
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's not like she had anything to be ashamed of.
I mean, so I think at that point,
I refuse to buy anything Boba Fett now because of that dumb bullshit, though. It's Slave One.
It is. It
He's a
will
villain.
always
He's
be.
not a hero. I don't give a shit what the Book of Boba Fett claims. He's a bad guy. No. I refuse. That was not my Boba Fett.
Yeah, you
I didn't care anything about the Tusken Raider B story, and literally that show sucks because you had to bring in what's his name, the Mandalorian, just to for season 2.5.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say I enjoyed the series, like, from a storytelling standpoint. But yeah, in the end, you can't make Boba Fett a good guy.
No.
He was
It's
one of the worst. He wasn't the worst, but he was definitely not.
He really.
He was not a nice
He was
guy.
not in the running
and
for
again,
the
we've
worst.
talked about this before. It's the Han Solo thing. It's the man
Yeah.
with no name. You're not supposed to know a backstory, and you're
Yep.
not really sure what side he's on. He's just Boba Fett. He's there. He's there for the dollars. That's it. That's the only thing he cares about is
Yeah.
getting paid.
He's
Good,
he's
bad,
Angel
ugly.
Eyes.
He's right down the line because it's whoever's the highest bidder,
He's he Angel Eyes
right?
from Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
All right. Well, there you go.
But yeah. So I hid Ewoks. That's where this originated.
Right.
Yes,
hit all
Ewoks.
We
hit
derail
Ewoks.
so
Every time I
much.
go to somebody's house, I hide a Spider-Man. And people are like, "That's weird. How do you do that? Do you just keep them in your pocket all the time?" I'm like, "Yes, actually, I do.
I wanted to like
There's
buy.
one hidden in this room."
I wanted to buy like a whole like bag of like
Army men.
little army men and hide them in random places, like his freezer, like the back of the freezer, and see just how long it takes for him to find
So
them
several
all.
years ago, I met Stan Lee, and he gave me a little tiny Spider-Man, and he told me if I keep this in my pocket everywhere I go, I'll always be safe because Spider-Man's looking out for me.
Aww.
I was an adult, by the way. This wasn't like I was like a 40-year-old guy at that point, 30-something-year-old guy. But
Still though.
But when
Aw.
my nephew got deployed and he went overseas to Afghanistan, I gave it to him. I got a little box for him, and I said, "Listen, Stan told me if you keep this Spider-Man in your pocket everywhere you go, you'll be safe while you're overseas in the Middle East." And so he took it with him, and I was like, "That's a reason to come home, is because you're gonna give me my fucking Spider-Man back." Stan Lee gave me that shit. I want it back. And so he went for 18 months, and he came back. And the minute I walked up the driveway, he was standing there. He had it in his hand. He's like, "Here you go," and he gave it back to me. And oddly enough, I think my sister told me a story that I guess one of his Sergeant, another guy that hung out with him over there, and she just kind of casually asked him. She was talking to him too, and they were friends. And she said, "Does Kevin still have his Spider-Man?" And Gray was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, his Uncle John gave him a Spider-Man to take with him that Stan Lee gave." And he was like, she said it was the most stone cold thing she's ever heard in her life. Thought the call got disconnected because it got quiet for about 10 seconds. And he just said, "If somebody took that Spider-Man, I will burn this country to the ground and put it back." And she said he was serious as a heart attack too. And I just thought that was cute. But
That's amazing.
God bless America and our military. Just like, nobody's taking that kid's Spider-Man. I will somebody up. Good for you, America.
That's really sweet.
Yo, Joe. Yeah, it was really sweet. I thought that was really cute. But yeah, he brought it
was
back,
cute.
and he will be deployed again, I'm sure. And he will take Spider-Man back overseas with him again. That is the most well-traveled toy I've ever seen. Maybe one day on Patreon, I'll throw a picture up or something. Maybe I'll show you a picture of Spidey, little tiny Spidey. But I do keep, if I go stay at someone's house or if I go visit somebody's house and I'm there for more than a night, I will hide one somewhere in their house. And usually like a year or two later, I'm like, "Did you put a fucking Spider-Man in our bathroom vent?" Like, yes, I did.
Yep.
Yes,
That's what I
did.
wanted to do with the army men. No,
Right.
it was aliens. I found like a bag of aliens.
Oh, yeah, little plastic aliens in like a
Yeah.
dollar store. Yeah.
Is I do a lot of comic book conventions. I travel around a lot of places doing signings and whatnot. And one of the weirdest ones I saw, I want to say it was around Gatlinburg maybe, or Knoxville. I've done a couple of shows where this cat has shown up, and nobody knows who it is, but he's known as the Lord of Corn. And he just hides ears of corn all around the con and all around the con hotel. And like, if you find an ear of corn, you've been blessed by the Lord of Corn.
That's pretty amazing.
It is amazing. I'm allergic to corn, which makes it even funnier to me because I found him like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, look at that! I'm gonna die. Thanks, Lord of the Corn. But nobody knows who this dude is or who she is, whoever's doing it. But and then in one year, like I guess it was like really cold and they couldn't find ears of corn, so they were leaving cans of niblets everywhere, and I thought that was hilarious. And there's usually like a little note with it called, you've been blessed by the Lord of Corn.
That's amazing.
I'm like, what a great gimmick for comic book convention.
Right? Right?
Like, how was it? Oh, I met, William Shatner. No shit. How was that? He's like, nah, it was all right, but I found Lord of Corn's ear of corn. It was great. I mean, it's like that or a balloon animal, maybe. I don't know.
I always wanted to do something like that for cons.
You tried once.
Yeah. What was that again?
You were Death, and you were handing out.
I was
Infinity
Death.
Stones.
Yeah. I had Infinity Stones. Like we bought a whole bag full of orange soul stones.
You know how many times I've been sitting at a table and some kid walked up to me with a death notebook? I'm like, I don't think so. No. He's like, yeah, would you sign my autograph book? I'm looking at it like, you know what? I ain't the smartest guy in the world or superstitious for that matter, but I don't want that in my soul, man. No, I'm not signing that. Thanks. And they'd get all fucking mad too, like, oh man, kicking rocks. Like,
it's like, here's
no.
a scrap of paper.
I don't watch a lot of anime there, son, but I do know that one. No, I'm not doing it. You almost got me.
Death Note. There was one time where
how do you that movie up on Netflix? Honestly, you had Willem Dafoe playing Death.
Yeah.
And you dropped the ball.
He did do a really good rip.
Oh, he was awesome, but what you didn't even need the puppet. You should have just had him in there doing it. Just make him up.
Oh yeah.
Like,
that was what disappointed me the most.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, the movie was decent, but like it could have been so much better if you just let Willem Dafoe go off unhinged, man. Mm-hmm. Same thing with the Green Goblin in the OG Spider-Man flick. Like and I get it. Okay, I've read interviews. Sam Raimi said, look, you're not going to have this tactical stealth sled thing, and then a guy running around in a rubber, goblin mask. It just doesn't make sense. But I'm like, but yeah, it kind of would because he's a nutcase anyway. Like,
yeah.
Well, I think what was it? No Way Home.
Right?
He
did kind of
really redeemed that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He came back in here. He owned it for all us old school nerds.
Yeah, that outfit was amazing.
Yeah, it was like the hoodie that kind of got burned up and it looked like that. Oh, it's like brilliant, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody figured this thing out. That's why Kevin Feige's the god of Marvel.
Yeah.
If Wade Wilson can be Marvel Jesus all day long, but Kevin's steering that ship.
Yeah.
God bless him for all of us nerds out there.
And what's great
Father,
though is
Son,
that
Feige.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah.
Father, Son, the Holy Feige. I've met him. He's a good dude. Really nice guy. And he's a comic book fan, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
Now, if they let Jeff Johns over at
and
Warner
stuff like
Brothers
that,
do his job, we would have had an awesome Warner Brother universe, too. But there's some weird thing
I'm not
going.
going to get started on Jeff Johns, so...
I mean, when money comes into it, money starts talking loud.
Yeah, but I mean, they
Yeah.
were disconnected from the TV to the movie franchise. Now, their shows were like, for a while there, the Arrowverse was amazing.
Yeah.
But you're not, when you're trying to do Superman as a TV character, but he's not the same as the Marvel. And that's where James Gunn, I think, is going to come in there and really kill it.
Yeah.
Like, because he is, like, anybody who's in the movies, you're doing the cartoon voice, you're doing the TV show, you're doing the video games, you're doing it all. You are going to be Batman, or you are going to be this version of Green Lantern, whichever one it is.
Yeah.
And that's what I think they desperately, desperately needed at DCU.
Some continuity.
Yeah. You need to have something stringing it together. And don't get me wrong, I like the Snyderverse stuff. It was all right, but Batman and Superman kind of a turd, but...
I fell asleep.
Really?
Mother's name is Martha?
I did.
Martha!
My mother's name is Martha, too.
We went to the
Superman's
IMAX.
introducing Bruce Wayne to the rest of the family. It's my brother Daryl, my other brother Daryl. Oh, I got a brother named Daryl.
Yeah, no, we saw it in the domed IMAX downtown.
Yeah.
And I fell asleep.
Well, you know what it was? It was like a 2.5-hour movie and like 20 minutes of
Yeah.
Batman v Superman, and they tried to check. You know that they were already trying to get ahead of the press on that one too. When like Snyder was like, "Well, it's called Batman v Superman, not versus, because we're not having them fight for real." I'm like, then why did you make a movie out of it, dude? Like,
Right.
let's see that kryptonite ring and an ass whooping here. Let's go.
I woke up at the end and I turned to him and I go, "What did I miss?"
I fell asleep during the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix. I
Yeah.
didn't think that was very good. And
I
apparently the
didn't
new
like
one
it.
bombed even harder.
Oh
A
yeah.
little harsh.
Did you
was
see it? Was it
bad.
crap?
No.
Oh.
But everything I've been reading is just woof.
Tears it apart.
Like when
Yeah.
you know, what was it like? Somebody told me like Lady Gaga was really just kind of a figment of his imagination and the whole Harley bit, and I was like,
I had a feeling that's where they were gonna go with it.
Though it's interesting. I was reading an article. Apparently, Hideo Kojima said like in a decade or two, people will appreciate it differently.
Really.
Well, I mean, look at the
like, that's
Star Wars
kinda weird.
prequels. So
Hideo Kojima, is that Metal Gear guy? Or?
that's
Yeah.
the Metal Gear
Yeah,
guy.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so he liked it.
I don't know. I didn't.
It's
don't know
hard
what
to
he's
tell. Okay, so the thing is, though, because I follow him on Twitter, he likes everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
but I mean, is that
and
like
they-
Affleck Daredevil? Like, did we appreciate that years later? I mean, I kind of like the movie. They
I
cherry picked
like
a lot of shit from 2 or 3 different graphic novels.
I
to
like
put
Yeah.
the
together.
I like the director's cut
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what I'm referring to.
because that's
yes.
when you get Coolio
yeah.
in it, and you see a lot more of him as Matt the lawyer as opposed to
Right.
Yeah.
And then
just
you also
Daredevil.
had, Michael Clark Duncan playing Kingpin,
Oh,
which
God.
was
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez. Yeah.
Like, you couldn't have, and a lot of people, oh, he's black, he's supposed to be, you, that movie, he was
Right?
awesome in that
Yeah,
movie.
no,
He
that was-
saved that
I
movie.
miss him.
'Cause I wish that they'd bring Kingpin into Spider-Man and make a proper...
Yeah.
I know Daredevil Born Again is coming up and around the corner. Supposedly,
Yep.
was it March next year?
Something.
2025,
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah. And there has been mumbling that they're going to do Daredevil and Spidey in a movie, but I kind of want to see Spidey in
Vincent-
his own flick now.
I
Vincent
mean,
D'Onofrio said even if he was retired, if they said we want Kingpin for
Whatever.
Spider-Man, he was like, "I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll do it."
yeah.
yeah, no, he loves doing Kingpin.
Kingpin, I mean, he's killing that. He's
Yeah, he
murdering
is.
that
God.
character. The Netflix series was awesome, and then he showed up on like some of the Disney
Hawkeye.
stuff. Hawkeye, yeah.
Yeah.
And Echo.
Yep.
The
yep.
show wasn't that good, but he was awesome.
I actually really liked
Did
it.
you like Echo?
But I'm a big Echo fan. Like
Yeah.
Honestly, I've been an Echo fan since David Mack.
And I'm a little bummed out that we didn't get another season of
Did
Hawkeye
it?
for Christmas.
I know, right?
Because that show was
Well,
so good.
I
not
mean, he
Christmas
did
until
kind of
Hawkeye.
get he
Yeah.
did kind of get run over. So I mean, you
What do you
got to
mean?
give him that.
What?
Jeremy Renner.
Oh, well, he's fine now. He's
Oh,
doing
no,
that
yeah, he
Mayor
is-
Kingstown again. He
Yeah,
can do
oh, yeah,
all
no,
that.
he
bounced back
said
and
he's
said,
ready.
"Suit me up."
Yeah.
He's ready for it. He
That
said.
dude's invincible, man.
But but the timing for us to have another Hawkeye in the past like Christmas or so would have been rough for him. So, because he's really only said that probably at the beginning of the year, where he said he was starting, where he
Still,
was
they could
ready.
have belted one out.
He'll be ready before that next Avengers flick for sure.
Ugh.
What do you mean, ugh? What are you groaning about? Are you one of those RDJ like haters right now that
No,
he's
no,
gonna be
no,
doing?
no, no.
Or
Oh, I've got my theory on that.
I think it's a multiverse.
It-
He's not gonna be the Doctor Doom, but
Yeah, I
think
was about to say
it's
he's a
gonna be
red herring.
Yeah,
He's a red herring because
Sure.
we didn't know about
Yeah.
Brolin as Thanos.
right,
Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom is meant to distract us from whoever Doom is going to be,
right.
which I'm still crossing
You're
my fingers
still
for Keanu
you want
Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
that
want-
could be killer.
I want Keanu as thank you. You're the first person.
No, I agree with you. No, that could be really good. Like, because he's age appropriate now, and he's been trying to get himself into a Marvel Cinematic
Oh, yeah.
Universe somewhere.
Yeah. They've talked to him a number of
Yeah,
times.
they just said they don't want him until they've got the perfect role for him. And me,
If he was
Doom is
20 years,
perfect.
and if he was 20 years younger, I'd say Century.
Oh yeah,
He would have
Yeah.
been great as Century, man. It'd be weird seeing him with bleach blonde hair, but
Well, the guy
Again.
that we have for Century, he don't have blonde hair.
who is it?
yeah, he does.
Does he have blonde hair?
Did they
I thought
cast
he had
somebody as
brown
Century?
hair. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of a weak character. I mean, but is he in one of the
He's
new
in
TV
Thunderbolts.
shows? Oh, it's Thunderbolt. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I think I did read some.
Thunderbolts asterisks,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever the hell that's gonna mean.
But
Hmm.
no, Man, how about Agatha all along though? Like setting
show
up
was
Wick.
awesome.
It was great. It
But
was so good.
did
and
you like
they
the
brought
ending?
Death.
Yeah, see, that's the problem,
What?
though. Everybody loved the show, but the ending was so soft, man. Like,
Yeah.
I
It was kind of like anticlimactic.
Of all the shows to not have a stinger, that one really needed something to tie it back into the rest of
Yeah.
the universe. There was
Right.
nothing to tie it to the rest of.
I thought for sure at the end of the credits we were going to see her ghosting around Franklin Richards or something to play Penelope. 'Cause she was a nanny for the Fantastic Four.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing, man? Like, that would have been...
Yeah.
Out of all the Marvel stuff coming up, though, the Fantastic Four movie, and I don't even like the Fantastic Four. Never liked the comic. Never really dug that series. I mean, I respected it's Marvel's first family, but I'm really, really hype about that movie, dude.
I'm excited to see where they go with
And
it.
a lot of people bitched again about Pedro Pascal being to be Reed Richards. I'm like, no, I think that's
No, he's
perfect.
great.
He's a
Yeah,
great
no,
actor. That
no.
dude could do anything. He's
Yeah.
kind of like the new generation's Morgan Freeman.
Well,
Like,
I think there's a lot of people who are
Just good in
butthurt because they
everything.
wanted John Krasinski, and it's like, look, you got
You got
your
him.
taste,
You
man.
got him.
you got the taste. Let it move on.
yeah, it's
I mean,
and
'cause
it's a
even I
multiverse
think-
version of the FF too. So
I think John Krasinski had outright said that he's just kind of he feels like he's too old at this point now.
well, him and his
to-
wife
to
both
do it.
could have been Reed
Oh, yeah,
and Sue
Reed and
Richards,
Sue.
which would have
Yeah.
been cool. But like again, I agree with him. Like you're probably if you would have caught him 20 years ago, he'd been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna start hiring people to do these movies going forward, and that's again the James Gunn theory. Like, okay, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do all the different versions of
Yeah.
media, and we need a person that we can go longevity.
Yeah, no,
I
he's-
understand the Cavill thing, but I would have rather seen Henry Cavill. I don't get that one because he's only like a year or two younger than him, the new guy, Superman. I was like, why? And he looks almost just like him. But fresh start, new ideas, man.
Yeah.
Let's go with it.
Yeah.
They need to hire Henry over at Marvel. He should be Captain Britain. Put him
Who
in the
did
movie.
we have?
Or the
Who
East
did-
Coast
we got
Avengers. Yeah.
We got someone that we had
Wouldn't he be great as Doctor Doom?
thought about
Cavill.
for
Henry
Cavill.
Cavill.
Yeah.
Put him
Yeah.
under that mask, man. He's all ripped and shit already anyway. Like, and he's, it doesn't matter how old he is now because it's.
Yeah.
Oh, you've
Dr.
got
Doom,
you've
yeah.
got Cavalrine.
Yeah.
They're going to treat you so much better here.
Amazing.
Such a great throwaway line. My nose is itching like crazy.
But yeah, no, they've got. Let's see. I was trying to think of who it was, and now I lost it.
Yeah.
Think
You've been brain farting a lot today.
I have been.
It was a built Brit dude. I remember that.
Yeah, and I can't think of who.
We were like, shit, he could do Brian Braddock.
Right.
He was blonde and everything, and now I can't think of it.
If they don't put John Bernthal into a Marvel film as Punisher, it's a crime.
Yeah.
That's true.
But at least, like I said, the Disney Plus stuff is tied into the movies
Yeah.
mostly. But so maybe we'll see that. I would
Well,
love
not
to have seen.
necessarily so loosely anymore either.
If you're going to do another Spidey movie and you're going to just overflood it and not let him do his own thing, then they need to do a Marvel Knights flick with Spidey, Daredevil,
Yeah.
and Punisher.
Yeah. No, I'm with that.
Do not try and bring back Toby and Andrew again. It's been played out. I know everybody's
They,
like, "Oh,
they,
it'd
they
be so
finally
great."
got it. They finally got like the
redemption
close of redemption and everything like that. I
Right.
think it was perfect for
Between
the
Deadpool and that movie, it closed the door on the Fox
Exactly.
universe and all
Yeah.
the other side
Yeah.
spin movies. It's like, okay, that's good. That's what I thought was so
Exactly.
brilliant about Wolverine Deadpool. It was like, okay, you acknowledged it happened in another universe, and I think Snipes basically cursed Blade's production forever, though.
probably.
Always gonna be one
That's what it
Blade.
seems like.
Such a great
He's
one.
been saying that for so long, though.
And
He
and
honestly
felt,
has been.
it really felt like Ryan Reynolds was daring Marvel.
Right.
Do it. Stop
Dare you.
around.
And it's funny too, and you're right, because it's like they were daring Marvel to try and do it again, because it's like, it's going to fail because it ain't got Wesley in it. Wesley Snipes was badass in the first two Blade movies. Can't say much for the third movie, but I don't think that was their fault.
But
No.
Mahershala Ali as Blade.
Oh, he's going to be dope if they ever get around to it. He'll probably bail before they get around to making this damn
Probably.
movie, though.
That's
That's
what
the
I'm
problem.
thinking.
He'll die of old age.
Age out before he can get.
Yeah, right.
That'd be
And
the
it-
biggest crime.
Yeah, The biggest crime at Marvel MCU right now and Disney is that they haven't done a Miles Morales Spider-Man live action flick. Like, what is wrong with you guys? What is wrong with Sony, man? That, like, Venom should have been like the end right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's worried about Tom Holland coming over there and doing a flick with Tom Hardy. It's like, no, you've got the perfect opportunity to set up Miles Morales right now with Tom Hardy. And how great would that be? It's like, but again, Venom 3, they said that movie's a bomb, just phoned it in. I think
Which
I've read
is
that.
sad though,
Sony's
because
allergic
I
to
like
printing
no.
Yeah,
Sony Pictures, clarification, is allergic to money.
right. They do just go ahead and do the rumor and sell Sony Pictures to Disney and get it over with and just get out of it like Fox.
Well, it was the whole thing of like the only reason we ended up with the Spider-Man movies we got was because of the Sony hack.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Sony Japan didn't know that Sony Pictures America had an offer from Disney saying, "Hey, let's team up and do a Spider-Man movie." And
They had a whole deal and
yeah,
everything.
when Sony Japan saw those leaked emails, they were like, "What the wrong with you? Get them on the phone. You are hemorrhaging money.
Yeah.
Do you want your job?"
And I guess they've made some kind of new deal in perpetuity for Holland to keep going as Spidey as long as they want to use him. And again, just let them back the dump truck full of money up to your doorstep, man. It's fine.
Yeah.
He loves being Spider-Man though. That's a great thing too.
But again, I just wish that, Homecoming, all these movies, that he's always had Iron Man or somebody with him. They just need to let him go down to street level hero.
Yeah.
The friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in a movie by himself. As much as I want to see Daredevil or Punisher or somebody show up. Or if you're going to do a trilogy, let's do a trilogy of films with him versus Kingpin, and then you can have Daredevil helping along the way.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I'm kind of shocked we haven't seen a proper Ghost Rider come back around either. That's one of the only two movies I've ever walked out of.
Well,
Ghost
I mean,
Rider 2.
we've got Jennifer Hale.
I was about to say,
Agatha.
we have gotten
Jennifer Hale
kinda,
is Johnny Blaze's cousin.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll see.
So
I know they had him in S.H.I.E.L.D. briefly. That
was the Robbie Reyes.
Yeah, the ghost driver, the ghost who drives cars.
Which I have to say, that car was pretty badass.
Yeah, but it's not Ghost Rider. Come on, that wasn't.
Well, because Robbie Reyes had the car.
If you ain't gonna do Johnny Blaze, it's not Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
And it can't be Nicolas Cage. Huh?
You gotta have the motorcycle.
Yeah, it's got to be a motorcycle or a horse. Doesn't matter which. Yeah. Like, that was the one thing they got in the Nick Cage movie when they had when they had the old Ghost Rider still on the on the horseback. Sam Elliott.
I still get chills with that scene.
Them riding across the desert and he's on horseback.
The
it's
whole
like the old white,
all
solid white Ghost Rider from the
they got
40s.
The cover of Riders playing.
Yeah.
Shit.
Ghost Riders in the sky.
Yep. Spider bait.
It was better when the Blues Brothers did it.
Yes, it was. It was amazing.
That, and I have to say, I was disappointed.
It made no sense in the movie, but it was an awesome cover.
Yeah.
Blackheart is honestly one of my favorite villains, and
they casted that perfect. Man.
Yeah, no, he was.
I mean,
he
seriously,
was
they even had a motorcycle from Easy Rider in it, man. I mean, come on, that was awesome.
Fonda
was great in that flick.
I would have loved to see him transform, but I mean, what they did get, and they showed hints of it.
When he had the American motorcycle standing right there, and he kind of walked by and gave the nod, like, "Hey, that's a nice bike." It's like, come on, man, that's as cool as it gets. That's as pimp as you're gonna ever get in a movie, man. That was rad. And then the rest of the movie was a giant turd.
I still like watching it though.
I watched part of the second movie when like Ghost Rider was like peeing fire. I was like, oh, I'm done.
Donnell Logue got the short end of the stick of that one.
Right. But hey, what are you going to do? I'm sure Ghost Rider will... Again, I don't see why they haven't made Marvel Knights like its own spin-off property at Disney. Like, hey, okay, you like Deadpool, you like Punisher, you like Daredevil. Why don't you just make the rated R side of Disney? I mean, if you're going to go all in. It's not like the mouse doesn't have his money in R-rated stuff already.
I think Deadpool opened that up for sure.
Well, Fox, I think, was really that broke the can open on that one. Because, again, doesn't that mean that the Xenomorph from Alien, isn't she technically a princess now? A Disney princess?
Good point.
No, because
Ripley
she's a
should
queen.
definitely be a Ripley. Ripley from the movie Sigourney Weaver should be a Disney princess.
Now,
shit.
now Ripley's a queen.
They-
I love her.
They should redo the Disney Alien Encounter
They're
and
never
make it an
going to
actual Alien
again.
Encounter. I mean, I love Stitch and all.
Yeah, I know. No, I think they
That
got
thing-
rid of
that
that
thing was
anyway.
Terrifying.
They got
when
rid
it
of
first
it,
opened.
the Stitch one. I don't think they have it anymore. I think
Really?
they got rid of it because they were doing the Tron
Yeah.
ride.
Well, still, I mean, they got that plan. Just
Yeah.
throw the Xenomorph in.
Well, the Tron thing is there because they got another movie coming out next year.
Yeah.
Tron
Oh,
movies.
Yeah.
Jared Leto.
No.
And, well, I don't know.
I don't
swears
like
that's his
him.
favorite movie, the OG Tron movie.
I
I'm
don't
in there
like
too.
him.
The top 5 favorite movies of all time. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
Tron. First movie to
Oh,
use
yeah.
CGI. Got disqualified from all the award shows for CGI because they claimed that was cheating.
What?
Who knew?
Wow.
Where was it? Yeah, I think Last Starfighter was the next one.
Oh, I loved Last
Oh,
Starfighter.
and they've been trying to relaunch that movie for years too.
Oh
but
yeah.
Dude,
I love that movie.
I wrote a fan sequel.
Did you?
Yes,
Nerd.
that would absolutely make it to yeah.
If it was
I
ma-
love
would
when
absolutely
he
get
admits that he writes fan fiction.
It would
I love
absolutely get made because it hits
I love
all
it.
the modern notes that need to hit.
if they were slick, they would pull it like the Jumanji sequel. You know, where The Rock was smart enough
Yeah.
to come in and say, "Hey, listen, we're not going to do a reboot. We're going to,
Well,
because I'm
you
not going
kind
to
of
shit on
can.
Robin
No,
Williams'
Yeah,
legacy."
Robin Williams.
Which I thought was
amazing.
very classy, and I've
Yeah.
told a million people a million times, The Rock is one of the most stand-up dudes in Hollywood. Like, you think it's a show for the cameras, but he really is a nice guy. Like, I've met
Yeah.
him, I've worked with him a couple times. He's a good dude. But if there were any sequel out there that needed to be made, straight up Galaxy Quest.
I love.
But Tim
Galaxy
Allen said he'll
Quest.
never do it because of Alan Rickman passing
Yeah.
away. It wouldn't be right.
Yeah.
And I get it, because I agree with that. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah.
very stand-up, because there's a lot of money in that pool to be made. But
yeah.
without Alan Rickman,
Yeah, it's not the
Yeah.
same. It's definitely not the same.
grocery store. What was it? The appliance store opening where he's just
Yeah.
so bummed out by
By
Grapthaw's
Grapthaw's
Hammer.
Hammer. What a savings.
Oh, what a savings! Just so miserable. So good, so good.
Well done.
Again, that man was one of those guys.
He was a
Robert Duvall,
treasure.
Morgan Freeman, Alan Rickman. Whatever they're in, it's going to be awesome.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to be good.
Why-
Even if the movie is a complete piece of shit,
Oh yeah.
this movie's going to rule because they were in it.
My
Yeah.
favorite is Alan Rickman in King of the Hill.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen all the King of the Hills.
It's
Well, I tell you what.
it's the episode with the Ren Fair.
Oh,
All right.
And he heads
spends
up the
like
Ren
almost
Fair.
the entire episode like speaking like himself.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he's this pretentious
British.
guy doing a
Yeah.
yeah. And at the very end, when like everything crumbles, he puts on like the worst Texan accent. Oh no, they're gonna take my fire.
It is really good.
I'll watch the whole episode start to finish just for that moment.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
bringing back King of the Hill.
Really?
Have you not seen the preview yet for it? They've been
No.
released. Okay,
What?
so they've advanced it like 10 or 15 years since the show's been over.
Well,
and
yeah.
now
Yeah.
Bobby's an adult and he's a professional chef. And they've had
Okay.
images of Bobby popping up on the internet. They're doing the same thing that they did with Beavis and Butthead, where they
Okay.
advanced them up to their 40s and 50s now.
Mm.
And I don't know if you're not watching the new Beavis and Butthead; those are just as brilliant as the
Really?
originals. Oh yeah, they're even
I've
better
been
now.
afraid
We've been
to.
meaning
I've been afraid
to.
You know, they did the same formula where it's 2 little 10-minute episodes. So you
Yeah.
get one episode. The first half is always going to be the young original OG Beavis and Butthead as
Okay.
kids, but the second half, the second episode, part of the episode is them as old men. Now they're in their like mid to late 50s. And it's like, where did they end up in the world after all these years? And that's the better part of the show, I think, because they're
Yeah.
still ignorant.
Nice.
They're still stupid. But now they can drink beer and they go to bars and get their ass whipped. And just, it's great.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that.
If you got Paramount Plus, that's a winner.
Okay. So when I worked at Sam Goody,
You worked at
these
Sam
always
Goody?
these always
did.
start.
I worked
he
at
did.
Suncoast Videos for years. Was it at the Galleria?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So you're back in the day too. Was it when we were still open upstairs at the
Yeah.
video store?
yeah.
Because that was before FYE came in and bought all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam Goody was still its own little entity.
Was it security guard?
Oh, I remember them. Yeah. They thought we were smoking weed when I was manager of KB Toys in the Galleria. And we were, but they could
I was
never
about to say,
catch
were
us
they
doing
wrong?
it. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, we were. We would go out back. It was the middle of Christmas time. Me and my buddy, we were the assistant managers, and we would get a lunch break. The Galleria at Christmas time was just like wall-to-wall traffic. So if you had an hour, you could get in your car and you could drive the perimeter of the mall. It would take about an hour to go all the
Yeah.
way around the mall and back to where you started. So that was enough to inhale some Chick-fil-A and then, smoke a doobie. So,
Yeah.
and then put up with all their bullshit.
Well,
for the
that's
rest
the
of
whole
the day.
thing. You kind of had to do that in order to get through the day.
Because people are miserable trolls.
Yeah.
There's a lot of assholes
yeah.
in this world. and
Yep.
the people in retail do not deserve your bullshit.
Right?
Well, there's a reason.
And I'll tell you one
If you
other
work
thing.
in
since I'm
retail,
on
you
a-
smoke.
Okay, you do, because you have to, because
Yeah.
people are going to drive you nuts. And anybody who goes, oh man, any asshole idiot can run a cash register. No,
it.
they can't, because if you go to any self-checkout line now these days, it's the same asshole who's sitting there scratching their head in their back going, I don't understand how it works. I thought any asshole could do it. Well, I
Yeah.
can't.
And this is the easy
Yeah.
version.
And this is the easy
Right?
version. I mean, this is dumb. You just put the little barcode on the laser for sake, and they
Yep.
still can't figure it out. So you, if you're out there, and you think that working retail is easy, kiss our ass, man.
Well,
Because
it's
I
not
did it
just
for almost
that.
30 years,
You're
man.
dealing with people who think that they're super entitled to certain things, and let me tell you, customer is not always right.
No, they're very
At
seldomly
all.
right, but you have to kiss because some corporate
did.
overlord.
I had a
never did.
manager who simplified it very easily. She said the customer is not always right. Well, she started with what's the most important rule of retail? I was like, the customer is always right. She goes, no, no, but the customer has to think
Think
they're
that they're
always
right.
right,
That's exactly.
and that is the key to not
Yeah.
losing your mind. She was the only manager I ever had who didn't smoke.
Really.
Yeah,
God, I could write a book about all the dumb shit in retail.
Right.
but to Sam
The-
Goody, we had a guy who came in once a week, and he would grab the guitar off that back rack
Right.
and start playing the
Stairway
King of the
to
Hill
Heaven?
theme song.
The which
No,
one?
We had a sign that said no stairway.
Well, every record store or
Yeah.
music shop has to have the no stairway to heaven.
No, yeah, but
Not here, buddy.
and we would occasionally have people who would start to do it very badly.
Yeah,
and,
but that was it. That's why you can have no stairway to
was
heaven,
always
because
the-
they're not going to do it correctly. It's going to be
No.
like a shitty, choppy version.
Yeah.
You're
But,
not Robert Plant. You're not Jimmy Page. Just
Yeah.
stop.
But the guy would come in, grab a guitar, play the theme song to King of the Hill. The whole store would stop,
Yeah,
and then when he finished, he would hang it back up and leave. That
really,
was it.
really.
I love that guy.
He probably worked somewhere in the mall.
Probably.
This was his one moment of zen for the day. Like today,
Yeah.
for this 5 minutes, I am king. I was at the mall today. Like I said, I ate the Chinese food and had to take a massive. And I guess that's how we're doubling back to the beginning of the conversation.
Hey, it
Yeah,
comes
full
full circle.
It comes full circle. But the one thing I did see in retail, I buddy of mine, and God bless him, I love this guy. He some lady was like in his face and up his. We were working at a Office Max or something, and she was just, "I'll never shop here again. You will be missed. I'm never gonna spend another dime with you ever again." He's like, "We'll try and get along without you somehow." And I was just like,
Yep.
Dude, I was like, that was the best thing I ever saw, and the fact that he didn't get fired for it was even more brilliant, man. He's just. We'll
I mean,
see you
what
next
are you gonna
week.
fire him for? Sarcasm?
Right,
Like,
yeah,
I
it's-
mean, jeez.
God, just put this Karen right in her place. I was like, that's bloody brilliant. But
Yeah.
again, back to the food court, took a dump. Now we're back, and I guess that's it. That's been an hour. That's all we have time for this week, guys. It's.
Wow.
I hate to begin the show and end the show on a joke, but that's all
we
you
went
get.
everywhere in this, though.
Right,
Like-
right.
This is the shit talking episode.
This
so-
was
This
just
is-
a
this is-
shit talking
yeah.
episode, and I think this is going to be a more frequent thing because I mean, honestly, how many times can you talk about Ninja Turtles in the course of
Right.
52 weeks? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I can talk about Ninja Turtles every week, and I wasn't even like a huge mega fan of it. Like,
Right?
although I did wear a trucker cap all the way through like freshman or sophomore year of high school. I got a lot of kickings because of that hat, but I don't like to think of myself as being a nerd back in the day, but I feel like more of a trendsetter now.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm an old hand at this nerd thing.
yeah.
I need to dispense my worldly Jedi wisdom to this newer generation that doesn't understand the difference between Spock and, Luke Skywalker. They're out there, trust me.
Painful.
Again, I've said before,
Painful.
like my dad, you could put Darth Vader in a lineup with and he's still not going to pick him out. Like he just does not know. And on that note, kids, we wrap this up. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Bye.
Yeah, my legs are so sore from sitting on this damn stool. I usually take one of those red chairs, but I've had that thing up my ass the whole time.
Oh, gotcha.
It's like the calves where the circle part is.